Welcome to episode 6 of Day in the Life of a Sports Trader. Same drill as last week, morning Australian racing. It's 2 o'clock right now, and it's going to be a shortened session this time. We're going to wrap it up at 6 because we're playing golf at 7. But today we're really going to have to earn our keep since the quality is not as good as last week. We're going to be focusing on Cranbourne, Doomben and Newcastle. Newcastle being a New South Wales track, so in order to avoid racetrack charges, we're going to treat that track as a bonus and try and keep our aggregate back bets under $1,000. Should definitely make more than last week's morning session, despite the lower quality of action today, since I didn't trade too well last week. Maybe a bit of nerves, impatience and early aggression cost me. So going to be a lot more disciplined today and see what we can pull out. So let's give it a go. Alright, first race of the day. Man, these early mornings never get easier. Alright, so I know there's 500,000 been matched already on this first race, but don't be fooled because this favourite's taken up the bulk of excuse me, this favourite's taken up the bulk of the matched money. If you try scalping this second or third favourite, you would have had a hard time, and scalping at around evens is very difficult. In play it's looking a lot thinner than last week. We've only got 100, 200 pounds stakes either side of the market, so we're gonna have to trade carefully here. Yeah, gonna have to scratch that back bet because this can easily whipsaw against us. I'm guessing there's gonna be a lot of whipsawing here if it gets tight at the finish, but just given the lack of support on this favourite, we're just gonna fire in a lay here and hope this price pings upward, which it has done. But given how thin the market is, I wouldn't be surprised if it whipsaws back. So I'm going to fire in a little lay at high odds and hopefully catch a nice spike downward in price. And as we said that, we caught it. So I'm guessing this is a tight finish and it looks like the favourite's been turned over. But yeah, £56 in the bin. Good start, hot start. Right, so second race at Doomben. Much weaker track, it's only 100 grand matched here. And again, the bulk of it taken up on this favourite here at 1.7. So just going to jump in front of these stakes and just fire in some back bets. But if we don't see the price coming in the final few furlongs, then we're just going to have to scratch it and move on. So let's see how this plays out. Alright, support for it looks weak, so we're going to have to scratch it. I'm not convinced this price is going to come in. Alright, there's some support here now. Some heavy support, so we're gonna jump in with some back bets. I know the market's quite thin, so we have taken on a bit of risk here, but it looks like this horse is about to win. And we laid it off at around 1.6, and yeah, it paid off in this instance. Another £19 in the bin. Now back to Doomben, and on this favourite here, there's concentrate price action at around 3-1. So this is kind of the bottom of the range that we would consider scalping in. You know, there's natural resistance points in the market, and anything below 3, the odds get very volatile. So the price is pretty stable around about here. So we're just going to jump in and out of the market with 100, 200 pound stakes. We can trade the second favorite as well. As you can see, the price is very tight in that range as well. Even the third, if you can go as high as 8-1, but I mean the matched money there is far lower, so we're really going to be hanging around just to get our stakes matched. This first and second horse here, which are taking up most of the liquidity, we're much likely to see a higher fill rate. So just got to be patient, just let our stakes sit in the market, stay in front of the queue here, and just let the price come to us. Alright, so we'll stop there. So £17 pre-race, which isn't bad at all. Let's see if we can top it up in play. So as usual, just trying to gauge whether or not there's strong support or weak support on these favorites and jump in front of the money, essentially. Alright, looks like there's a bit of back support on this favorite here. Hopefully this price can come into evens, and nope. Oh. It was close. It was close. It looked like it was going to come in, and it went against us. So scratch that for a small loss in play, but a tenner overall. A little bit disappointing, but you know, sometimes you don't get the breaks, but that's okay. We'll take that. Alright, so back to Doomben, and once again, just like the first race, barely $100 match. So we're just gonna have to wait to go and play. Alright, there's £1,700 just sitting there in the market on the lay side. And we're just going to jump in front of it. Hopefully catch a big spike in price. And if we don't see it, we're just going to have to scratch our position as soon as possible. And we're entering the tail end of the race. It's only a 1,000 meter race, and this price isn't going where we thought, where we hoped it would be at this stage. We were hoping for around 5-6 to 1, but that hasn't happened. So we're gonna have to scratch it. If it drifts out now, then it's just a gamble, and we don't want to gamble. We want to manage our risk. So happy to scratch it for a small profit there. Had we let it run, we would have made 50 quid, but like I said, it's just gambling when it gets to that stage of a race. Back to Cranbourne, and there's been some funny price action here. As you can see early on, this price steamed in really hard, and then it drifted really hard. So I do anticipate that, as you can see, the price is leveled off here, so I do anticipate that it could steam back in. So if we can nick a tick or two here, we'll be happy, but we're going to be doing it with a downward bias, which means we're going to hope our back bets gets matched before our lay bets. And if the price does break this 2-tick range and comes back in, which is what I anticipate will happen, we want to ride it out as long as possible. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so as predicted, this price has steamed right back in, and we just want to milk it for what we can. Hopefully make 20-30 pounds. Alright, so we're close to the off now, so we're gonna have to close our position, but the price did more or less what I thought it would. £18 profit pre-race is good enough for me, so let's try and top it up. Alright, so we're going to jump on this back money here, just for small stakes, because it does look quite thin and we do want to be able to escape without chasing the price back up. So hopefully we can catch a spike downwards and at least double our money here. Alright, we're past the halfway mark now, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So we're going to have to scratch it for a small in-play loss, but £15 overall. Yeah, was good enough. It was a tricky race to trade in play, so we'll take that. We're happy with that. Okay, back to Doomben. This race is looking a little bit more liquid. Almost 150k matched. But as usual, as is typical for this track, the in-play liquidity is very thin and it's going to be very volatile, so we're not going to use any more than £50 stakes. So let's just fire in a £20 back bet, try and jump in front of this back money, but I do have a feeling we're a little bit too late, so gonna have to scratch it there for a small loss. And the price has come right in. it looks like this horse could go on to win. And it looks like it's pretty much won, sorry. But that was a right call to get out, because like I said, it's just gambling when you get to the final few furlongs. We don't have pictures. We're not trading with live pictures. We are just going by the market sentiment. So hindsight's 2020, but we don't want to get in the habit of gambling and letting those kind of trades run. I would rather take a small loss all day long than risk, giving back profits. So happy to take a loss in that instance. Okay, Cranbourne, which is, like I said, going to be our bread and butter for this morning's session. We wait for this liquidity to pick up, and as you can see, the price is in a tight range here. 6 to 1 is sort of at 6.0, that's kind of the maximum sort of price that we can go hard scalping in. Between 6 and 3 is the best, or 6 and 4 even is the best price range to scalp in. They're kind of like the natural resistance points in the market. So here, hopefully make 10-20 quid. Don't want to jinx it, we're just gonna take it a tick at a time, but we're close to the off, and maybe that was a little bit ambitious, so let's just see what we can do there. Anything at this point will be good. Slightly tricky to trade. Price kind of went through us at some point, so maybe didn't trade that as well as I could have, but profit's profit. Still £4 up. Liquidity's thinned out a little bit on this race, so let's try and at least double our money here, and I'll be happy with that. Alright, so I'm keeping a close eye on this third favourite here. It's like a little bit of money stacked up on the lay side and not an awful lot of support, so I'm just going to fire in a teaser lay. And there's that spike in price. Come on, get up. Maybe I'm being a little bit greedy here. There we go. We'll take that, £22 profit. That's more than I anticipated for this market, so I'm happy with that. Alright, so we're going to take a look at Newcastle now. So at the start of this video, if you remember, we said this is a New South Wales track, and for those that didn't watch last week's episode, New South Wales tracks are subject to a charge from Betfair if your back bets exceed 1,000 Australian dollars, I think it is. So in order to avoid that charge, we're really going to try and avoid trading pre-race. So I'm only making 1 or 2 trades here, and ended up being a waste of time as we had to scratch it for evens. So we've unnecessarily used up about 20% of our back bet limit. So let's try and make something in play here. Keeping a close eye on this second favourite. Don't want to leave it too close to the last few furlongs, so if we don't see what we want to see, gonna have to get out. You know the drill. Come on, giddy up. Get up. Alright, there's that spike which we were looking for. We've got some breathing room here. I always recommend scaling out some of your money, getting out your position, give yourself some breathing room and just lower your entry. And yeah, looks like a done deal. £13 in the bin off the first race in Newcastle, so happy with that. Back to Doomben, as usual, 100 grand matched. I don't know how much we're up so far for the session. Let's take a look. So, probably around 100, 130 quid up so far. and we're past the halfway mark. So it's been a really good session so far, given that there's not been much opportunity pre-race. But yeah, let's just keep it out the way. Keep it going this way. Let's just try and avoid any stupid losses. If we can manage our downside correctly, there's no reason why we can't, get to around 300. Don't want to talk too early. Let's just stay in the zone for now. Okay, here we go, in play. Unlike UK racing, where I like to wait for the race to really take shape before I get involved, I'm more than happy to get involved quite early on Australian racing, just because the prices often trend in one direction very quickly. So no matter what happens in the race, you can make money within the first 5 seconds if you're quick enough. Didn't pay off in this instance, but generally I'm looking for chances to make a quick entry and get out. But yeah, didn't pay off in this instance, so let's try and turn this around. Alright, so this race looks like it's a little bit harder to trade. Oh, there's only around 20 grand matched in play, and that price really whipsawed, so we're gonna have to scratch that for a small loss, a bearable loss, which I'm more than happy to do. Alright, so back to Cranbourne, 440. It's getting on the lay side. Looks like a lot of money's being laid on it. So only problem I have here is that liquidity looks a bit thinner than what I would like. So if this gets down to around 3.5 or 3.0, then gonna have to take a loss here. See what happens. Alright, looks like a lot of bag money's coming in, so gonna have to scratch this for a loss. But let's jump on the backside now and see how far this price comes in. Okay, bottled it. Bottled it there. Oh, that's disappointing, but again, a manageable loss. Doomben again, entering the final hour now, so let's try and finish strong. A lot of back support for this horse. A lot of good back support. This horse is steamed in. Alright, so I'm guessing this horse got off to a bad start. The market's laying this hard already, so we're just gonna jump in front of this £1,300 stake there. And that money's disappeared on the lay side, so this is a short race. As soon as this money starts coming in, I am gonna escape. So in the meantime, I'm gonna exit my position at 3-2-1 here, hopefully. Alright, now we've been matched. Let's jump back in for some smaller stakes. Try and double our money here, because I'm guessing this horse is gonna have to come from behind to win. Now I can fully appreciate how crazy this looks trading without pictures, but like I said before, there's a method to the madness, and I do teach these methods, and there are quite a few people who do profit from this style of trading without pictures. I don't recommend doing it on the UK racing, which is an awful lot harder to do. Australian racing is much easier to do, since the prices do tend to trend hard in one direction. There's a lot of whipsawing in UK markets and a lot more shrewd money out there. So Australian racing, this may work, but not so much on UK racing. Right, so that was a nice little bonus, making 36 quid at Doomben, given how thin it is. Cranbourne is supposed to be our bread and butter for today. So let's just try and scalp a few ticks pre-race here. Right, so I made a bit of a mess on that one. £2 is disappointing, given that there's around 50-60 grand matched in this tight little range here. I should have got involved earlier, but it is what it is. I was looking at this little bit of back support on this favourite. Let's try and take advantage of it. If that £300 starts getting eaten up, then we're just gonna have to escape. So Hopefully this can get to about evens and we can just scale out of our position. Come on. Ah, there we go. There's that spike. Perfect. Another £30 in the bin. Alright, 3 more races of the day left. Ordinarily at this stage I'd be looking to bet quite defensively, as I did last week, and that was more down to the fact that I didn't have any rhythm, so I didn't want to give any more money back to the market. Last week I think I only walked away with around 80-90 quid in the morning session, and when you consider the fact that the action was a lot better than today, it was incredibly disappointing. And maybe there was a bit of nerves at play, given that it's my first session that I'm going to put on YouTube. But today I'm tempted to carry on trading the way I have been in the last 3 hours. So if the opportunity presents itself, I'm still going to hammer it. I'm not going to shy away. So let's try and finish strong these last 3 races. I'm not going to risk it. I mean, there's back bets flying in, but the price isn't moving as hard as I'd like, so I spoke a good game before the start of this off, but I'm gonna have to bottle it here. And if this price has the nerve to get back down to evens, I'm gonna be really disappointed. And there you have it. Looks like it's gonna win. Again, hindsight's 20/20, and I said I would bet aggressively, and had I did, I would have made 150 quid off of that. But we end up walking away with £11. So rarely am I disappointed with winners, but that's a one-off. Okay, final race of Doombin. Liquidity has been pretty consistent at this track. It's always been hovered around 100, 150 grand. And yeah, liquidity is really thin here, so there's no point using any bigger than £20 stakes, £10 stakes. Weak support on the second. Let's just try and catch a spike, hopefully make a fiver here. Another £7 in the bin. I will be more than happy to take that. Okay, final race of the day. Liquidity is pretty decent here. We're at Cranbourne, and I think we're just shy of our £200 average, £200 target. So let's try and go out with a big one. Let's try and nudge it past £200. Made a bit of a mess pre-race. Just got a bit carried away. Probably traded a little bit more too aggressively than I should have, but as you can immediately see, there's some lay bets firing into the markets here. So we're just going to jump in front of that and hopefully ride it out. And we've got more than enough breathing room. As you can see, there's a £600, £200, £150, £180 stake sitting there in the market, so if we need to escape, we've got more than enough time. And there's our spike we hope for. So there we have it, another £35 in the bin. Went out with a bang, as we'd hoped. So yeah, I'm happy with that session. I'm happy with that, given how sparse the opportunities were this morning. That's a good session. I'm happy with that. Alright, this is where we're at, £234 up on the racing. Small loss on the cricket, across 15 races. So that's about £15-20 a race. Really happy with that session. Really happy with the way I handled myself. Timing and execution was on point. Cut my losses when I had to. And given that there was lower quality action on today, I can't really ask for much more. When you compare that with last week, when I had around £300 worth of losses, when there was really good action on, and today there was poor action and I made 15, 20, 25, barely lost 25 quid. So yeah, really happy with the way I traded that. Sets us up nicely for the afternoon, which, like I said last time, during the winter's not great action. There's a bit of decent stuff at Cheltenham. Haven't taken a proper look yet. We'll do that later. I'm in a bit of a rush now as I'm playing golf. But yeah, that sets us up nicely for the afternoon. Alright, 6:30 in the morning and it's absolutely pitch black outside. So hopefully the sun comes out to play soon because we're teeing off in half an hour. Weather's supposed to be good today anyway, so there is a silver lining. But we're playing early today because we want to get back in time for Cheltenham, hopefully. So fingers crossed there's good action on. But yeah, check in on you guys in a bit.
No refunds.
I just finished playing a round of golf. It's my first round in 2 months and shot 6 over 75, which isn't too bad given how long it's been, because I was traveling, as a lot of you guys know, and just the weather's been bad. Just slapped it around today, putted pretty well, so something to work off. But I'm away in December, so just gonna play as much as I can, just keep warm before head off to Dubai and take my clubs out there. Anyway, just racing home now, try and get stuck in on some of the Cheltenham action. There's a little bit of quality on, so we're gonna have a snoop, try and top up our profits and hopefully nudge it up to £300-400 or whatever we can. So let's see what happens. Alright, so back at my desk, and we're going to take a peep at the Cheltenham races and maybe a bit Linkfield, we'll see. So just going to have a snoop and we'll try and nudge up our P&L to around 300-400 for the day. So let's see how it goes. Alright, first race of the afternoon, and we're going to take a look at Linkfield. Just shy of 300 grand matched here. About 60-70k matched inside this tight tick range, but we got involved a little bit late, so we didn't touch it. So let's try and make some trades in play. Alright, so we're going to look at this fifth horse here, Later Darling. It's Jim Crowley horse, and we're going to look to lay it. And there's a good reason for that. Just given the positioning of this horse, where it is in the race, he's close to the rails. He's gonna have to come all the way around, overtake these horses. So he's gonna have to have a big gas tank if he's gonna have to win this race. So I'm more than happy to lay it. And if this price comes into less than 5-1 or 4-1, then we'll have to escape for a £10-15 loss. But as things stand, I'm happy with my position. Horse is running fine, but again, like I said, he's gonna have to come around all these horses. So he's kind of boxed in at the minute. Alright, this price is coming in, so we're heading into slightly dangerous territory. price-wise, but the horse, he's not making any moves, so I'm happy to hold on. Alright, now the price is starting to drift hard, and the horse is pulling hard, and there's absolutely no chance he's going to win now. Price has gone all the way out to 30 to 1. Right. He's coming to 15 to 1 again for some reason, and I could have arguably laid him for more money, but we've got to be disciplined with our risk management here, because again, you don't want to be taking on £200-300 liability just in case. But yeah, that was a pretty straightforward lay. Okay, first race at Cheltenham, and as you can see, the markets were very liquid, around 900 grand matched pre-race, which we didn't get involved in. So just going to take advantage of the flow of the market here, just of the price action going on. So just firing in some lay bets in front of this £500 stake here. If it starts getting eaten up, then we're going to have to scratch it, which looks like the case now. I was going to lay this fourth horse here. Price is starting to drift. The horse is starting to pull pretty hard, but the price isn't moving, so probably gonna have to consider getting out. And we're gonna have to scratch it. You have to scratch that one here. That was a bad trade. I mean, even though the jockey's pulling hard, the horse is still second and anything. Oh, and the horse goes and falls. As I so often say, hindsight's 20/20. All the signs were there to stay in the lay, but when the horse is second and we're down into the final few furlongs, just don't want to be taking that kind of chance. So, yeah. Right, back to Cheltenham. Another 800 grand matched pre-race, and I thought I'd get stuck in this time. Ended up making a mess of it. I got my timing completely wrong. I was laying around 5.8, 5.9, and the price just went right through me, so I had to scratch it before this race went off. But made a few good scalps on this fifth horse here, so just a small loss in play, and yeah, let's see what happens there. Okay, so my internet's really laggy, and as you can see, the live picture here is really poor. So I've got my laptop open beside me with a separate connection, so I've got clear pictures on there, but of course I can't show that picture on this screen. I can only screen record one screen at a time, so that's why you're gonna have to look at these pictures here. Okay, as you can see, there's a lot of lay money coming in on this favorite, on this first horse here, and I don't suspect that these people are spoofing. I think it's genuine lay money, because this horse is not jumping well from what I can see. So I'm just going to jump in front of it, try and get myself matched, and from there just manage our position as we enter the final third part of the race. Again, I know it's hard to see off the Betfair live feed here because my connection is so poor, but this horse is not jumping well at all. Even though he's in the middle of the pack, the price is still drifting because market does not anticipate that this horse is going to make any inroads coming down the final few fences. So let's see how he jumps this last fence. Didn't jump it too badly, but now the jockey's pulling and he's all the way out to 1,000 to 1, so he's got no chance of winning this. And yeah, that's a pretty easy lay. £30 in the bin. Okay, next race is at Naas. Now I'm never really that keen on looking at Irish racing other than the big meetings, but we do have a short priced favourite here, so let's just see how this horse races and see if we can make a bit of money. We'll just be using small stakes here. Once again, apologies for the bad live picture here, but like I said, I'm looking at my laptop at the same time, so I know what I'm trading. I'm gonna fire in a £20 stake here. We do have a bit of breathing room, as there's a £500 stake sitting there in the market and an £800-900 stake a little bit higher, so we do have room to get out this position if this horse does not make inroads coming down the final couple furlongs. So he's in second place right now. Second favourite Grand Jury is running quite well, but this favourite is right on his coattail and is looking like he's going to close the distance. So happy to ride out this back bet coming down the final furlong, where he should overtake him here. And and that front runner's just fallen, so the second favourite's fallen. So was a little bit lucky there, I gotta admit, because Grand Jury was running pretty well. It looked like he was poised for a tight finish, so we did get a bit lucky there. Not my best trade, but we still made money. £7 in the bin. Get back to Cheltenham. Get an 800 grand match, but we're just gonna do some in-play stuff here. And we've got front runner, Annual Invictus, and he's around a 20-1 priced horse. And I usually like trading front runners, because usually if they manage to stay 10 paces in front and get off to a hot start and use up their gas tank early, market just gets carried away and pushes the price down, and then once all the back support is kind of fizzled out, you could just lay it and then just ride the price back up. But it's all about timing, and this horse doesn't exactly have a big lead, so the price is kind of hesitant to go less than 10-1 here. So we're gonna have to wait till we see some sure signs before we get involved. And he's really coming in hard now. It's around 4-1. Wouldn't be surprised if this price touches around evens, but he's not extending the lead and the horse is around his coattail. So not tempted to lay him just yet. Maybe if he gets to around evens, we'll try and fire in a lay. And he's drifting now. These horses behind him look really tired, and they don't look like they're going to close the gap. But they're so close. I mean, to lay a 20-1 horse at evens is a bargain in most circumstances, but when it's this late, yeah, and price looks done here. He's gone out to 14-1, and horse jockey's really pulling hard. But it's still not done. He's still in front. Alright, let's give him a lay here at 1.67. He's lost the lead and he's regained it. Unbelievable. I mean, that rarely ever happens, for a horse to lose the lead in the final furlong when you've been the front runner the whole race, and then to get the lead back. I mean, that horse must have had a third lung. So it was a low risk, good payoff trade, which didn't pay off in this instance, but more than happy to take that loss. So even my laptop connection is starting to play up a bit. I don't know what's going on today, so probably gonna have to call it after this. My concentration is waning a little bit. I am going out tonight, and I do want to have a nap, as I've been awake for the last 13 or so hours, whatever it's been. So I'm gonna fire in some lays here on this favourite. He's running towards the back of the field. Again, we're just trading the order flow here, just trying to jump in front of this lay money stacked up. If the price starts coming in, then we'll escape for a £10 loss or whatever. And the price is coming in, and don't want to undo our hard work up until now, so yeah, we're gonna get out of this. And the price has gone through us. There we go, we're matched. The horse into third place now. No way he can win from here. I mean, he left it way too late. But again, hindsight's 20/20. Should have stayed in that lay. Oh, and he's coming back. He's coming out of out of nowhere. Wow. Wow, photo finish. Incredible finish by this favorite here. And it looks like he's done him on the line. So we're just gonna trade this photo finish because, yeah, he's done him. And we got in just in time. So let's try and scalp a couple more ticks out of here. And yeah, that's done. Often in these photo finishes, when one horse is clearly won and the price doesn't quite touch 1.01, you can just scalp it for a few ticks. I saw for myself that this horse has won, this favorite, so I'm more than happy to get in. But just make sure your back bets are matched first, because like I said, if the horse is definitely won on the photo and he's not 1.01, then if the market suspends, then you want to make sure your back bets are matched first. So £3 loss there, it's bearable, but yeah, we'll wrap it up there. Alright, so this is it for the day. We're going to finish here. Internet's playing up, internet is just in bits. The races are pretty crap and I'm just feeling tired, and nothing good happens at the end of a trading session when you start betting on races, when your concentration isn't there, internet's not there, and God forbid you screw up here and have a loss now. There's not enough quality left for you to make it back without taking significant risk, and that only goes one way. It ends in disaster. I've been down that road before. So I'm not going to put all this hard work to waste today, so we're just going to switch off there, and we'll be back for the MMA, so hopefully make some dough off of that later. Just going to rest up, maybe go out, come back, and hopefully make some more money. Alright, it's about 5 in the morning and went out last night and had a little nap and just woke up to catch the UFC. Just watched one of the undercards. Now it's the main event, Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira. I've been buzzing for this fight for such a long time, and I'm absolutely shattered. So yeah, gonna soldier it through and hopefully make a bit of money. I did back Alex Pereira at, I think it was around 2.7 or something. So just betting on my laptop. But what I did was I actually removed most of my liability before this fight began. Just too many unknowns, and you can't bet with your head. I've got a tiny stake on Alex Pereira. If he wins, there's £50 in the bin, and that's gonna nudge us up to 300 for the day. But it's a big ask, so let's see what happens. Izzy just has to survive this round and he's won the fight. And the odds on Pereira now have gone up to 10 to 1. So my little trade is dead in the water at this stage. But oh, Pereira's landed and he's following up. Izzy's hands are down. He's gonna get knocked out. Oh! Oh! That's like Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman all over again. Final round, final seconds of the fight, and he gets knocked out. The long reigning champion. It's like London buses, they all come at once. That's crazy. Man, you gotta feel sorry for Izzy. But respect to Pereira. This guy's like a Terminator, honestly. I'm absolutely knackered now. But that little trade, that little £50 winner there puts our overall daily profit at around £314, which is pretty much identical to last week, to last Saturday. You know, I'd love to capture one of these 400, 500, 600 pound days on camera, but to do so, I mean, it's just, you know, it's just luck of the draw, really. I don't know when it's going to happen, when it's not going to happen. I could easily lose money on camera as well, but trying to give you guys a realistic look into the average Saturday of me trading. And, you know, for the sake of not becoming monotonous, let me know what you guys want to see me trade. You know, you've seen me do a bit of Australian racing. If you do want to see me do more UK racing, then it's probably best to wait till March when things really kick off. Otherwise, I can do cricket, golf, boxing, whatever you guys want to see.
So let me know in the comments below. But again, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope it's again giving you guys some realistic insight and some inspiration as to how you can do this for a living. And if you're following me thinking you're going to see 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 pound winning days, then you're following the wrong person, because that's just not my style. And my strategies rely a lot on how much money is going through the markets, how much liquidity there is. So, but having said that, 300-400 pounds in a day is a lot more tangible. It's a lot more within reach and realistic for people watching. So, I'm showing that anyone can do it. It's not a crazy amount of money. But when you do it every single week, and when you're doing it a few times a week, after a month, after a few months, after a year, it adds up to a substantial amount. So you don't need to be hitting the jackpot every single day. Just keep getting those small, consistent wins, and it adds up to something pretty substantial over the long run. So yeah, that's my inspiration to you. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this sort of content. And yeah, make sure you're subscribed, like and comment. Let me know what you guys want to see next time, and I'll see you soon. Peace.